recording is live. So yesterday we just talked about wireframes and stuff like that. So the next stage in your projects was supposed to cover wireframes. So have you guys had any luck doing your wireframes for the building product? Anyone can speak. Can anyone hear me? Shola, Sagi, Jola, and Ibukun. I don't know why they don't know around.
Yes, I can
I've
hear.
been like missing classes a lot lately, and it's not really nice. Yeah, because I was asking, how far have you guys gone? Did you guys create a wireframe for your building product?
No, we've not created the wireframe.
No
We're thinking
response.
we'll get the site today.
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So today, though, we just want to just look at something briefly. It's not going to be like an all-out lecture. So it's about portfolio making. Then the challenge I talked about this morning. So first off, I would send a link. I just compare like different scenarios, different use cases that you guys would design accordingly. We've seen probably online how persons design screens of a music player, for example, or of a landing page of an e-commerce platform, or maybe just a hero section of any kind of design, stuff like that. So I'll give you like different scenarios to work with. Then I'll send a link that highlights different scenarios as well. So there are different levels, but I'll just advise you to stick with the beginner level. So the goal of this is so you'll be able to carry out some basic designs and get a feel of how design works. Then the different use cases you see along the way. You basically open your minds to possibilities of how design problems come. You will see scenarios like, okay, Ajayi is a businessman that's always traveling around the country and the globe. So design a solution that will help him keep track of his movements. Yes, so that can be kind of a mobile application or a smartwatch application or even like a web application. So another scenario can be Inumidum is a nurse and she is always trying to juggle her nursing career and her studies. How design solution has to help her balance her studies and her career or her job, stuff like that. So that's that for that. Now today we'll just talk about portfolios. We'll look at portfolios. So portfolios are basically the it's like let's say like a CV or basically highlights all that you have done. It shows your progress or your solutions to different problems and highlights your best work. So most designers now they have different platforms in which they house their portfolio. It can be a personal website, it can be on platforms like Dribble, Behance, can even be on Figma, or there's another one called Notion. So as a designer now, you don't have the portfolio now in quotes. It's advised that you 1 second, please. Okay, like I was saying, the portfolios basically house your best work. So in case you are trying to look for a job, which will come in the next couple of weeks or even months, the employer want to see what you have done. They want to have a feel of your thought process. So if you want to apply for a job as a fintech company, like let's say Harvey Wise or Kuda Bank or Flutterwave, for example, the portfolio will need to have at least a design or two and case studies as well that highlights your solving fintech solutions or fintech problems. if you want to apply for a job at crypto companies like Pusha or Coinbase, the portfolio needs to have designs that show that you have solved cryptocurrency problem before. So some persons now can just say, okay, I'm designing just so and so screens for cryptocurrency, and that may be all the employer needs to employ you. So, but the goal, the idea is have a portfolio. So, I will basically show you a few portfolios and how you should tailor your own accordingly. Now, to get a job now, you need a portfolio, um, a CV, resume, what you call it, and some persons now usually say have like an online presence because since work online, it's good to have an online presence as well. The more persons know you, see you, the more they'll likely trust you as well. So most platforms that designers use are LinkedIn, Twitter, Behance is also like a social media platform with quote, Dribble as well. So, but the point is, don't be working online and be invisible. Now, another thing is communities as well. There are different design communities that you see along that you basically see. The goal is once the goal is referral. Most jobs that I've gotten are from referrals, not from applications. So if persons know you and they know how good you are, there's a chance that they want to refer you to a job. Yes, so have a portfolio, have a CV, have an online presence, and build a community. So I'll share my screen now and show you different kind of portfolios that should most likely uh, be expected to have. One second. Try to pull up portfolio on Behance. Thanks for asking it. You can please let me know.
You can see your friend.
Okay, awesome. So this is Behance. So Behance is like I told you an Instagram for designers. Yeah. So the thing is, it basically houses the designs of different designers, be it UI UX designers, motion designers, any kind of design basically, and even art and photography as well. So let's look for one designer that I you basically see his designs and how they are arranged. This is a designer now, Samuel Legion. So he's basically you see usually his work experience. It's like his CV as well by the side. Work experience about the designer, what he has done. Then these are the designs that he has been doing over the years or how long he has been designing. So what I want us to achieve now is after I send you a link to the designs, design challenge I want us to design, you basically upload on your Behance and then share. So you see, this is a finance hero section at the design and you uploaded as well. So if I'm a designer now, or I'm a CEO of a fintech company looking for a designer that has worked in the fintech space, be it crypto or just plain finance, and just look out for different designers like this. Okay, if this looks good, you can contact the designer and have an interview set up or something like that. So you see, this is like a one page design, but it's usually advised that you have like a case study of some sort. So a case study is a documentation of the design process for the speaking apprenticeship design for. So let's see if this one is a case study. It's waiting. Let me see. Okay, it looks like one. Okay, it's not really a case study. It just contains the different screens that you worked on for the particular design he was trying to come up with. Let me look at another designer. Let's try ice. The thing is, more designers you know, the more you'll be able to have like usually though, you know how you do the Instagram and stuff like that, then you see different um pictures and stuff like that. Yes. It's advised that you feed your eyes with good design as well. And there's this theory I read about one time about taste and competence. So for a lot of us, our taste rises higher than our competence level. But the thing is, once we are consistent with our studies and practice, the taste and competence will basically become in sync because the more designs that we see, the more good designs we see, the more we'll be willing to improve on our skills to make much of our taste level. So this is a case study. Like I said before, it's like a documentation of all your design process or your design and thought processes in any design you're working on. So this one now is an app called Trigo. So Remember, I told us about user brief, wireframes, and stuff like that. So he now he did something like that. So first off, what is the app about? What is the app about? There is this brief summary of the app, then the problem statement or the problem report, then why this solution? Why what solution does your application or your design solve? Okay, so why will an investor want to invest in your design essentially? Now, next is your demography, target users, stuff like that. Then, okay, so remember I talked about the business aspect of the design now. So your investors or your investors want to see metrics or see numbers. Okay, if I invest in this, what's the return rate? If I invest in this, how much will I be getting out of it? Stuff like that. Next is the research. So I don't know if we did this, but ideally we also have done things like surveys and interviews. So surveys now is like the quantitative or qualitative analysis of the problem. So we send out questions to different persons in our demography or our target group, get responses. Then, if we can afford to, we can just interview some of them to get a better idea of how our solutions will fit them, stuff like that. Then the personas are basically fictional characters that embody who our solutions are designed for. So you have someone like Samuel Legion now, 30-year-old engineer. Those and needs pain points are those things that we are now designing to solve. Then what else again? Okay, how might we questions? So basically, it's like a scenario creation what can I call it now? Brainstorming session. So ideally, you shouldn't really be working on a project by yourself. Having a team of designers, product owners, and the likes. So basically, you create things like how might we solve this problem? What should we do? What should we not do? Then okay, product goals. So for this product I'm working on now, which is the healthy meal, what does it hope to achieve? I believe we're talking about how it will basically design a consultancy and diagnosis platform for our users of any age. So you can document the end goal in mind as well as part of case studies. Then I didn't talk about this though. This is a user journey map. So what it basically is like it's not a wireframe. It is not what- an architecture, but basically is like a documentation of every single action or step user takes from the problem that they have to the solution, is the product. Yes. Then what else did we add here? Okay, then design itself, the finished product. Now, most persons will add their wireframes, their motion architecture, and every other small detail that they can add. Okay, so that's basically it from this. So this is a case study. So most employers now, if they want to employ you, they'll make sure like it's more for product-based companies. What do I mean by product-based companies? Because like Flutterwave, Paystack, those guys are more focused on their products and how they solve the problems of their users. So for product-based companies, they want to see the thought process of every designer they want to employ. So the best way to depict how your thought process is using a case study. I was in one of the class I posted last week. The guy was saying UI is basically not a benchmark anymore because anybody, even graphic designers, can create a beautiful UI. So, for you to be a good product designer or UX designer, you need to see your thought process documented. So, this is essentially all for Behance. Let's enter the next portfolio platform that we can make use of, which is Dribble. So, the difference between Dribble and Behance now is the fact that Dribble doesn't is like Dribble just gives us snapshots of the designs we are working on. But Behance provides room for more flexibility. You can even have a prototype in your Behance. But Dribble now doesn't really do that. Let me primarily put okay, it's this can be restricted for me now. Okay, let's see. 1 second, please. I can't access my Dribble account at the moment, but let's just see what we can check out from here. So, like I was saying before, Dribble basically gives us snapshots of designs. Like you see this now, there is no, it's not a case study focused platform. So I can basically just see different designs and how fine they look, but not the thought process I was put into the design. So you see something like this now, just snapshots of the design, just snapshots of the design. So as if you want to host your portfolio into this platform now, what you just need to do is just create the design, the finished design, and just upload. There's no need for having or designing your case study again. So,
Hi.
okay.
You stopped sharing your screen.
Oh, wow. Sorry. Hello. Yes. Let me know if you can see it now. Sorry, I didn't realize I was not sharing.
Yes. You can see it now.
Okay, so what I was saying basically is the fact that Dribble doesn't provide us the ability to share case studies. They just provide the snapshots of the designs. So if you are a designer that just are not big on case studies, you can just design your solution and just upload as it is, each product. No need for wireframe, no need for motion architecture, user journey, no need for anything else. Just your beautiful design already finished. The downside to Dribble is that most designers and developers know that the designs that are here, most of them are just to show how good of a designer you are in terms of UI. They're not implementable in terms of code. Yes, there are some really, really fine designs that you see. They are just that, they're just fine. It's difficult to actually design them or actually code them in code. I don't know if I can see anyone. Okay, someone said something like this one time. Like this graph that you see that designers always have in their fine tech products. They are not what the actual codes will carry. It's still loading. I'm sorry about my network. Okay. Okay, so I was talking about the graph that you see now. So this is a very fine design, yes, but not all developers find it easy to actually develop this curvy graphic things. Most of them don't can't do this stuff like that. So basically, if you are more UX inclined, it's advised that you go into look for inspirations from things like Behance because those are more implementable. Now, the next portfolio I would want to show us now is housed in um, Figma. So it's not only websites or Dribble or Behance that we can house our website, our portfolios. Something that's as free and easy and common as Figma can be used to house our portfolio. So this guy now, Shadam, he basically housed his own portfolio in Figma. He designed all his solutions and just put them in Figma. So if the employer wants to ask for the designs now, just send a Figma link. It's good to go. Let me share that portfolio. So there are different kinds of designs here that he has worked on over his career as a designer. So let's see this one now. So this is a hotel website that he designed. Yes. So whilst there are no UX in the background here, but his designs are clean. He basically shows all his screens. Most of his screens are highlighted here. So if you want to design and you want to house a portfolio, you can also use Figma, but instead of having the UX, you can also have UX. So, but it's now like your choice essentially. Either you want to document all your process or just show all your screens. Either way, the solution is appearing before anyone that is looking at it. So this is for a hotel website you work on. Let's see this. This is a mobile application. All his screens are represented here on that website that we work on. There is no case study here, but all his UIs and screens are represented here. So the last thing that I would show this is his style guide. Awesome. This is his style guide. Whilst there are no architecture or wireframe or um, user personas, his designs are well represented in this Figma link. So the last one I'll show us now is Notion. So we have different choices now. Some designers actually have portfolios everywhere. Either is Notion, people, so we do have on LinkedIn. So I'll basically show us the last one, which is Notion. Um,
So I was want to ask, in our case study, do we have to also include a style guide, or where does this style guide thing come in?
okay, the style guide now is it's not a case study, but how do I explain it now? Like I said before, you're documenting all your steps in the design process. So the case study is in the design process, so it needs to be included in your case study. If you observe, when I showed us the portfolio of ICE or ICE Sosa, there was a style guide there. Most case studies we see, they have the typography, color, the buttons all represented in the case study. So you need to document it as well and show it. We get
Okay.
okay. So this is the portfolio of Tiwa Njesu Suleiman. So like I said before, it's like a CV that your employers or potential employers will see. You're about you, the designs you've worked on. So I think these ones are more of case studies that she even has. So if I click on anyone here, let's say this one, I click on this one now.
Is this star still on? Hello, Jola. Can you please engage us now in the meantime before Mr. Desmond gets back?
Hello. You said I should engage you what?
Just keep us updated anyway now. Because now seeing you as a leader now.
You need that for me. I'm not need my body as you need that.
I,
But
I,
I think
I,
I think maybe we should just find a way and work around the project we picked together. Like what Stephen said, we should do our wireframe and probably the what's it called? The features the app will have. And I'm sure with the help of the sample UI UX is showing us today, we'll be able to apply that to.
okay.
So I just feel like maybe we can pick a day during the week and just do all those things and apply it on our
Yes,
Figma site. That we have something to show him before next class.
yes, I also thought, I also had an idea that maybe as students as we have, maybe we can just have maybe a group personally where we can just be as in just as students together where we can actually engage ourselves because I feel the actual WhatsApp group is not really working. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we don't really talk
How
much
can
there,
you?
and the way it's supposed to be a collective thing. So it's only when we get here that some people talk.
Yes,
That's a good
but I
idea.
think there's we have to be more familiar with ourselves to build a familiarity within
Yes.
each other. Maybe we should
So
have
you're able to
Zoom
call or reach
calls
out to
one with
somebody
them
that what do you
that
feel
way.
about
Yes. So that way we can be more comfortable in communication with ourselves. So that's just an idea because I don't just as I just don't know. I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, it's as if we are just
I
coming for
just
the
think
class
that
and
as
after
idea
you don't see every other person again.
yes now. See, maybe we can just get one
That's
Zoom call just one day out of the week. So that way we can be
mm,
familiar with each other. Okay. Because you have to connect. You just have to connect and build this.
have to
Make sure
connect
you're
because this is
associating
when we
from
do
this
project like
community.
this.
Yeah, so maybe after this class, we'll see how we move from there. We'll see how we move forward.
Okay. Okay. Maybe when we get to the other group, after the class, we bring up the topic and probably create a group, find a day that's convenient for everybody.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you for the
Okay,
nice
that's fine.
idea. This is an I be boss now, and this one will come
Yes.
at night.
I know. We are just try to test yourself, just open mouth, make it like say person just did there
So
beside program.
I guess
You see,
I guess Eugene had
yes,
an issue with network, and this place was a bit dry, like just quiet.
you see. That's it. Well, now, boss, I appreciate respect.
Thank you. Much love.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Welcome back.
Okay. So I was showing us the portfolio from Notion that was linked to Behance. So, but essentially, what I'm trying to say is, you can post your portfolio in any platform, be it Behance, be it Dribble, be it what is it again, Notion, or even on Figma. So after now, the link I'll send. Let me just send the link now to the own it. There are different prompts here that you can just put, but for order's sake, just for order, I want us to start from this beginner section. So you can see my screen. There's this UI pattern challenges for beginners. Now, if you click here on data table, you see design a table that displays data from different categories or labels. Users should be able to search, filter, and order their data. So there are different prompts. Different prompts. So there's also another one that says music player. Design a cool music player for any device, bonus value points for choosing a nice song. Another one is a 404 page. Oops, this is an error. Design a 404. Notes, okay, not found page, essentially. So there are different kinds of illustrations or um, scenarios for this 404 page. So what you can do now, I think you can just anyone can pick at random. So the one that is easier for you to relate with, just design a page for it. If it's social share or user profile now, or onboarding screens or a sign up page, just design for them. But the goal of this is just so you could have something to put on your portfolio for the main time. So, like I said before, now the persons may employ you based on this. Persons may employ you based on your thought process. But if you can put a bit of thought process behind the design, let's say you have a design for this data table now, then you have a reason behind why you chose what you chose to do to be a plus as well. To be a plus. So there are different kinds of challenges here. So mid-level now, you are seeing design a pricing plan page and checkout flow. You can see design a KYC flow. There are different kinds of design prompts here. But I want to start from this beginner challenge. So design one today, show me tomorrow. Just saying, but what you can do, okay, what the first thing you do now, go to behance.com or dribble.com, then sign up on either of them, either Behance or on Dribble. Then, as you design, just drop your designs there, then share to the group, share to your contacts, just share to anyone that cares to see it essentially. That's basically it for today. Any question?
Yes, please, I would like to run through the tasks we are supposed to do for the project we selected again. That's the everything, so that everybody's
Okay.
on the same page.
Okay, so basically you already have your product drafts, your product brief. So what you do now is, like I said yesterday, highlight all the important features you want everything to have. Then create like an architecture for them. So if you're starting from your splash screen to onboarding screen, onboarding screen to home screen, then show all the features and where they lead to where what basically the to and the from basically show it in your architecture. And after that, you go into your wireframing. What you can do for this stage now, you already gone through competitors, yes. Go into Behance, Dribble, or anywhere, or even Google, and look out for different. So create a mood board. A mood board is like a compilation of different designs that will basically guide the design process. So if you have four designs that look like healthy meat in your mind, have them on your a separate page for your design um, Figma board. Then pick them and just take what you like. How do I say this? Basically, sketch what your own design will look like. Looking at them. So create a mood board. Then after creating a mood board, create a wireframe. Then from there now you can create your style guide. Style guide contains typography, the color, the cards, stuff like that. So iconography, stuff like that. Then you start to design. Is that clear?
Yes, it is. So, do we have to put into consideration, like, if we are creating an app for iOS users and Android users, or should we just stick with one of those platforms?
Okay, so the more you go into like the deeper you go, you now look at what we call responsiveness. So responsiveness basically tells us that I can design for an Android, and the Android can easily be responsive to an iOS platform. But for now, just design for either iOS or um, Android. So pick one. Just pick one.
All right. And the last question is considering that this is like a joint project, how
Mhm.
do we run it together? Should we do it individually or come as a team? Because when it comes to implementing probably the actual designs of the project, how do we do that as a group? I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes. So, like I said, the first day, pick a team lead. So the team lead will basically organize all of you. Pick a team lead, pick a time to meet. So Figma is collaborative. You can all work on Figma on the dashboard of Figma. So if you have different tasks, the team lead will just have outline different tasks, then share it amongst yourself. If let's say we're going to working on the information architecture, they can do that. If Victor is working on the typography and the style guide, let him do that. If July is working on prototyping, let him do that. So first off, pick a team lead. Then after picking your team lead, basically segregates or highlights different tasks that needs to be done. Then share it amongst yourself. Pick a convenient date to work together as a team, or basically not all tasks require us to be together. So, but basically have a team lead, have different tasks outlined, then start working on them.
All right, thank you. And I want to confirm, is the class from your hand still the one on Zoom? Is it still the same?
Yes, it's still this evening. I'll drop a link here even
All
once
right, 8 o'clock, right?
8 o'clock. Yes. So he will be talking on auto layout. So I briefly talked about it on last week. So he will basically go in depth today. This class is hold every single Sunday. So it's not it talks about different kinds of design concepts. Last week, I think 2 weeks ago, talked about interactive components. That basically was about components and variants. So it's basically every single Sunday. Just follow, send me a DM to save your number so you just get more information as to how that is run. But tonight is basically talking about auto layout. So I'll just encourage us to stick around for that one. Any other question?
No question from my end there.
Okay. So I've sent the link for the challenge. Pick a challenge that you want to work on. Basically, from now till next Saturday, I'm expecting at least 5 designs from all of us. Then create a, a page on either Behance, Dribble, or even both of them. Then just design and share. Then I don't know, I may show you, but I may send you a copy of how a CV would look like for a designer. It just remind me about it later. I'll send you a copy of a CV of a designer so you can, as you gather experiences, you basically document what you've been doing. So when applying for jobs, actually apply with your CV as a designer, not as a student or a banker or anything. So that's it for that. Any question from Victor, Sharon, anything, Psyche?
No question, no
No,
question at
not
all.
for
Thank you very
me.
much.
Okay. If you have any blockers, just send me a DM and we'll schedule a meeting or just a voice note. Okay, that's all for
All right.
tonight.
Thank you so
I'll see you guys next time.
Alright, good night. Thank you.
much. Good night. Thank you.